in opposition to golf, where no one is trying to block your shot, we have opponent, and the opponent, we have to give credit to the opponent when they do well. But the intention for us is always to be aggressive and to be on the front foot. That's always the intention, not always manifested as that in the games because of different circumstances or credit to the opponent. But we will continue with that theme of trying to be aggressive every time we're on the field.
After the Miami match, you talked about some of the offensive highlights that the team had, hitting the post with Lionel and getting in a position to win a penalty kick. Are those some of the things that you can build off of for Cruz Azul?
Of course. I think we know exactly what we didn't do well in that game. We know what we did very well as well, and we will build on that, and we'll try to correct the mistakes that we had. We felt that the chance from Miguel in the second half, the chance from Edwin Mosquera, two actually, one with the left foot, one with the right foot in a transition moment, one from Thiago in the first half, a shot from the D that went very, very close. The penalty, obviously, but they created a very good chance there with Miguel. A couple crosses from primacy zones that we were not, finding the movements or the players. We were not connecting well from our primacy zone crosses, but we were getting there in a very good place where we were building very properly, I would say. So there are many positives there. Of course, we know we have to do better in how we press, our defensive shape, our triggers to be more aggressive, maybe, yes. It has to be more clear when and how we're going to press and be together on that and be more aggressive in certain moments. But I think we know what type of game we're going to face against Cruz Azul as well.
What's the number one thing you've got to be better at than you were against Miami in this game?
Probably more clinical on both boxes. I would say that the big majority of the goals came out of individual mistakes. So in those moments, that's how the game is defined, is little moments in final third in the box. Attacking wise, we have to be more clinical in our chances, our crosses, our shots. We have to be better on that, finding the better decisions and the better executions. And the same on the other side, like we have to be more solid defensively, individual mistakes, try to work by the principles that we talk all the time. And yeah, that's what we need to do better.
After the Philly match, Brooks Lennon had said, which was one of the better, I think, wins probably of the season, but he said that you guys did a lot more film review than you normally do. How hard is it to prepare for a team like Cruz Azul, which in their season they're only a handful of games in, and then they're traveling, maybe not in their home environment, but how do you prep for a team like this as opposed to how you normally would?
Yeah, it goes a lot in how many days you have to work and to prepare, and that I think, yes, I think I agree that in some games when we have the time and also we don't have too many changes, so we can really digest or assess the last performance because we have the same lineup, the same players. So a couple of things there. That's why the difference is in between weeks when we prepare a bit more film and when less. But this one, we did a lot of film and we know exactly how Cruz Azul plays. We think we know the most likely lineup. Tuca is a coach that normally doesn't change too much his lineup. He's very, very consistent with that. Might do one or two based on the injuries that they had the last game, but I think it's going to be pretty consistent. So we know that. We watched the film. We watched our film. We watched a couple more tactics and movements that we practiced today. So I think the team is ready.
And also, just to piggyback on that, there's been talk that Cruz Azul's coach, they don't win tomorrow, they'd be on the way out. But how do you prep the team for that kind of maybe extra aggression that Cruz Azul may bring?
Not at all. If something I have a lot of respect for Tuca, he's a legend in Mexico. He comes from my own club, Pumas. He was champion the last time he played. He scored a fantastic goal against Club America and a free kick, and he gave us the title. So I have a lot of respect. Since that day I was watching that game, and since then I fall in love with Pumas. So it's a good memory I always have. And then the next tournament he was the coach, the head coach for Pumas. So, and since there he never stopped his career as a coach since 1991. So he's a legend in Mexico, and I respect that. And whatever is around and that surrounding Cruz Azul, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Tuca Ferretti.
Jason and Diego.
I have two. The first one, Tristan Muyamba, you've had him for about a week or so in training. Now that he's been eligible, how is he integrated into the group, and is he ready to play minutes?
Yeah, he's been better actually. If something, the plan was him playing some minutes against Inter Miami due to the circumstances, and at some point with the 4-0, I tried to rest a couple legs just for this game. So that's why he didn't play, but he was ready, and actually the plan was him playing. So the same applies for this one. Like if I see appropriate, he can see minutes for sure. How many we will see depends on the game.
You mentioned the little moments, and that's been kind of a recurring theme, those mistakes that have happened. As a coach and as a staff, how do you guys, because it's not a tactical breakdown, it's not a way of playing, it's an individual mistake. How do you guys handle that and try to correct it? Is it repetition in training? Is it conversations after? Is it all of the above?
It's all of that. I would say it's all of that. And I would say football is not black or white. Football is not, 100% for sure you do this, you're going to win. There are tendencies, there are probabilities, there are things that common sense said you have to do. So we do all of that. We do film review, we go on training, we work on them, we try to boost the confidence of the players. We have to also tell them what we are doing bad, so we correct it. So we're doing all of that, but ultimately for me, it's again something that for me is a recurrent theme, is the consistency of the team. The consistency of the team, like whenever I feel like we are consistent in the lineups, in the options that we have, I think the less likely we're going to make mistakes, because some of that is at times the discoordination in the back line because it's a new back line, or because we don't have now, 3-4 players that we used to have, and that changes a lot. The way we press, the way we defend, the way we are in the lower block, the characteristics of those players, how they were helping us in some ways. Now we have to adjust to other guys, and that takes time. So I think that part of all of those mistakes come out of the lack of consistent lineups and options we have had throughout the year for different reasons, injuries, international breaks, now transfers, whatever. And I would say that it's not all on the players. They are good players. We are very happy with the players we have. It's more about consistent lineups, trying to have a system in place, and we repeat, and then we start to do better. So unfortunately, because of all these moving parts for my side, I haven't been able to give this, but I've been talking about this since a long time ago. I told you this since last year. At some point, I want to have consistent lineups to really, everybody knows each other details. So the center back know what to expect from the other center back, and the center back knows what to expect from the left back, because they've been there through 10 games in a row. And that cohesion is what I feel like we're lacking a little. Yes, I think I understood pretty much everything. I hope I did. I would say that I agree 100% with everything you said. Like we try to be selective in our pressing against. Are we okay? Okay, we try to be selective in our pressure against Miami, basically because of the quality they had. So the idea was always, trying to be close to Busquets, and from there start the pressing triggers on their center backs, and from there shift over and try to be aggressive. Obviously, didn't work exactly as we wanted. I would say that also it's not like many times we were broken out of their possession, and most of the goals came out of transition moments. The first, the second, and the fourth goal came out of transition. So to me, I would say that we didn't really fail on that, but we didn't succeed because we didn't regain the ball in the area that we wanted to regain it. But it's not like we were broken. Now, with that saying, I agree with you that at home we try to be the same, aggressive away and home, but at home it's a little bit that necessity to really dictate the tempo and impose our way of playing. We have to be aggressive when we press. We have to be aggressive when we have the ball. We have to be proactive on what you just said, creating more consistent, clear chances for our nines, for our wingers, for our attacking midfielders. And then the clinical part will come. That's where we have to be clinical. That's where we have to be sharp on our movements and our connections, our decision making, and of course in our final execution on goals. So I would say I agree pretty much in everything you said. Those are the keys.